daughter's belongings, hoping to see her one last time. But feeling guilty, Rose lies and says the body was sent to the medical examiner's office. And because it's the weekend, no one will be working. Yet after 2 long days of waiting, the medical examiner tells Anna her daughter's body is not there and suggests she go to the precinct department in charge, which is the autopsy unit where Rose works. After some inquiry at the autopsy department, she finally identifies the person who received the body as Rose. Early the next morning, Anna confronts Rose at her doorstep. Facing Anna's questioning, Rose tries to patiently explain, but just then, a sudden alarm goes from the bedroom. Rose immediately quickly opens the door and rushes in. However, as she tries to close the door, Anna forces it open and pushes her way inside. She follows the direction of the alarm and is horrified to find her long-dead daughter lying there. She can hardly believe her eyes. Anna looks at her daughter in disbelief. She reaches out and gently touches the sole of her daughter's foot. The foot actually moves sensitively in
fuck is my horse? Mine's over here. Oh, that battle's gonna be epic. All right, Wednesday. I'm gonna have to make sure that I remember and figure everything out so I can make sure I'm up on Wednesday. That'll be fun. Hopefully, they can figure that out on their side and we have a fun little fight. Also, so glad we ran into them and we can figure this out. I think our side was starting to feel a little burned out on riding out every day and not really getting any other RP, so now it's, you know, still kind of early. I say kind of early, it's already pretty late because I was watching the national championship game, but it's a little bit early. So we can get back to the city and actually like do some actual RP instead of just fucking running around in the west all night long, so. I think that went quite well. All things considered, at least. Yeah. I was surprised they let him come out by himself. Yeah. And I mean, obviously we could have, yeah, exactly. And obviously we could have, you know, fucked them up, but all that would do is drag a bunch more people into this. It's better to, as you did, set a time and let's just deal with this and move on. Yeah. You can at least be home. I don't know about you all, I'm a clean civilian. I don't know, what would the law possibly want me for? Yeah. Maybe they will, you know? Yeah, that would be pretty funny, actually. I'm gonna ask them to make sure that stays on my file if I ever do get charged with that. I want to make sure anybody looks at my file and knows I gunned down a horse. Can you imagine being a lawman who looks at that file for the first time? Look at this sick fuck. That's the way I like it. God, I forgot that we cut down a horse. Go through town just to see what's going on. straight there. Doctor soon. I have to wait till tomorrow to actually do some steady RP, so this might be a super short stream. It might be just on a night when we get back to the camp. We'll see. There might be some stuff I missed. We might go to the city. Just wants to join in on the conversation, I guess. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, whitetail bill. We ran into him. Where were we just doing? We were just doing job boards, right? And we ran into him. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Which, you know, like I said, I'd be insulted if someone asked me about it from Valentine's. So I guess I can't be too upset at him for that. Well, we saved him from the wolves, like, right by the Cumberland job board, so I just asked him if he was from around there. He got a little upset. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I can change him, Linda. Yeehaw! Welcome to Thieves Landing. We're so clever, we steal people and named our town after thieves. Real smart group out there. Yeah, it's great. It's real smart. Why does Law keep going to Thieves Landing? I wonder. I don't know. You did name it Thieves Landing. Oh, I'm excited for Wednesday then. Hopefully this works out. Hopefully we can do it. It's fun. We'll obviously stream that if that does come to happen. Ooh. How's it going? At least we don't have to go get sand all over our clothes. Yeah, one more day. I mean, yeah, but you don't want to be in the city if he's still actively looking for us. Yeah, unless you're out there on your own. Yeah, it's not ideal. Like I said, maybe one more day. Give it one more day. Hopefully he'll get back to us. Set this time, and we'll be fine. But right now, we know this This moron doesn't check his telegrams. Still not quite convinced he can read. And his buddy's got to let him know, hey, don't go fucking grabbing them because we agreed to hold off until we can figure this thing out. And so we go to the city alone. Obviously, in this number, it won't matter. But if we go alone or in small numbers, and he doesn't know that there's been an agreement, and you're still, still bound to end up hurt. Oh, yeah, I mean, trust me, I've been complaining about it the last 2 nights we've been riding out. So I'm over it. I want to find this asshole as soon as it's over with. So I'm glad we found this guy. Hopefully he can pass along the message, and we can start moving on. What'd you say? No, the hunt was fruitful, so you should be fine. Or at least semi-fruitful. Yeah, I mean, the last couple nights have been us quite literally running around in circles, chasing our own fucking tails and not seeing a single person. So, I mean, thank fuck we found somebody who knows this guy. I was starting to think he's a figment of my imagination. The gunfight didn't happen. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I thought every time we rode out there, I was just seeing him in the distance, just non-existent. Yeah, so I know it's frustrating. Trust me, I'm tired of being crammed out too. I want to be back home, but I understand this caution. No. all in one cabin. Great. I'm gonna sleep in a bush. Oh, I'm sleeping in a bush. You guys are all sick. I'm not getting sick. He's up. Anyone home? It's clear. Alright. Relax. I didn't expect it. Hold on. It's not as good as the other one, but it'll do. That's more of an execution chair. I would sit someone there so I can, you know, just put a bullet straight into their head. Yeah, it's not as good as for like interrogations and. Yeah. It's the perfect chair to just, you know. Anyway. Yeah. All right, now I'm starting to like the chair a little bit more. Okay, you're trying to convince me. Okay. It's starting to grow on me. It's starting to grow on me a little bit more. That's perfect. That's perfect. Problem with chopping off heads, they don't tend to answer questions. So maybe if we'll start with fingers. I like taking their trigger fingers and they can't shoot back. Anybody been around the city? Anybody, do we know that Nicky and his group have been around, or? Yeah, I just wasn't sure if he had more people, if it was just him and I think he had 2 others. be such an awkward conversation because I'm not looking forward to this conversation because it's like the whole conversation was us if we're gonna join DC in the war. Turn down the music a little bit. This whole conversation that we're about to have as a family was gonna be, are we joining the Chinzos in the war against Saipan? And we almost for sure were. I feel like everybody was leaning that direction. And like, so now it's like weird. What do we do? I think it's gonna be interesting on like, what do we do from here? Because all of our characters still feel the same way. Like, yeah, we should be helping DC, but and like we don't even know DC's not around anymore, obviously. So it's like, it's gonna be. I mean, I guess it's just gonna be like we're gonna probably end up taking the vote and then nothing will come from it. But I don't know. It'll be. Yeah, it is what it is. Oh, sorry. We'll figure it out. Anybody home? I got a guy sleeping upstairs. Yeah, he's sleeping on the bed in here. Maybe he's in a coma. I don't know. It'll still be an interesting conversation, I think, on what we want to do with Taipan, so hopefully we have that tonight. I know we've been trying to have that for a few days, so we'll see. You alright? Doing alright, Matt?
Through one nostril.
Yo, chat. No one to tell me that my fucking TeamSpeak was muted this whole time.
Beaver's died down a little bit, thankfully, but fucking when I wake up in the
I
morning,
fucking hate it here. I fucking hate it here.
Well, like I say, I've been coughing up in that house.
Alright. Catching everybody up on what the fuck happened because I apparently had TeamSpeak muted this whole time. We met with somebody who's connected to Daza. We set up a time to have a fight. So Wednesday night we will have a fight, hopefully. The guy needs to get with Daza to let us know if we're still going to do that. So, but at least for now, it's been agreed upon. We're going to have a little bit of a ceasefire with Daza until Wednesday, and then we'll set up a time and a place Wednesday to go fight them 6-on-6, and so hopefully we have an epic fight then. Other than that, the other thing, I mean, I was kind of talking about it, but you guys didn't hear the other side of the conversation, is we've been talking about having a family meeting about the Shinzo War, because obviously the last conversations we had with the Shinzos in game was kind of sort of asking for us to join it. And so we need to take a vote on whether or not we're going to do that. And, you know, leaving all of the kind of OOC things out of it and just kind of going off of what we know in game. So we will go from there. I definitely did not realize that my fucking TeamSpeak was muted this whole time, so. Yo, I appreciate that, dude. Appreciate the follow.
You have one with empty baskets.
Not a fucking clue, mate.
So we'll see. I think they're gonna exchange this stuff real quick, and then we'll have this kind of family chat on what we're gonna do about the Taipan War.
Eva. Just all lagging in.
I guess the other thing to catch up stream on, Way he has reached out to have a conversation.
In the meantime, we can enjoy our
we still need to reach back out to him, and so we're gonna hopefully do that. But if we need to have our family meeting first, so have the family meeting first, and then we'll figure out the rest of it.
We have a crate full of baskets.
You haven't been in the city at all, right?
We were here briefly.
No, but I mean, like outside of as a group.
No. Why?
Just curious. I was asking Jacko if he'd seen Nikki's group, or if anybody, it was just the three of them still, or if they had more people, and no one's been around, so no one knows.
Yeah, I don't know. All I've seen is Nikki the times that we have come to the city, but who knows?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was telling Jacko. And he told Jacko, I guess I think he said his uncle was coming, so that there was going to be more of them, but we haven't seen them, but then we haven't been around, so.
Yeah, that's another thing of the time, you know, things move fast. So the days, you know, time that we're not here in the city, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, has anybody seen Remo, actually?
Remo is on vacation. He'll come back until the weekend.
That's right. Fuck,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, we haven't been to the Bastille. Yeah, it's been a while since we just kind of walked around. I might do that tonight, depending on when everybody goes to bed. just come back in town and just walk around a little bit.
Hmm.
We'll see.
I haven't seen much today. Bully Street was around. They were hanging out in the Pearl, or not the Pearl, the Bastille.
It's good.
They're looking for law. Apparently, Tito got fucked up.
We got told that yesterday. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, almost kicked your horse. Just let you know, apparently the wheels got a little bit jittery. Neva got a little bit caught in them, so she just needs a minute to wake back up.
Yeah, no worries.
Alright.
Anyway, should be fine. At the moment, my intent with this discussion is to have Matthew listen in on it, because these threats do come towards all of us. But if there's something that you'd rather discuss privately with the family, then feel free to let me know and we can send him in the room, okay?
Are we talking about
Okay.
the same conversation? I'm gonna make sure we're
The Taipan one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He's
I
going
mean,
to
it makes-
continue as he is, and yeah, he needs to be hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense to clue him in so he's not clueless as to what's going on.
Exactly. Regardless, he was going to get at least some cluing in, but for now, he may as well be on the same level of understanding as all of us with Taipan.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's anything else you two want to address or whatever, let me know. We can send him out the room if needed.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
More
All right.
likely not going to bring up our involvement again.
Sorry, what's that?
I said likely not going to bring up our involvement again.
From before, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's no need for that. It's
Mhm.
completely fine. All right. Thank you. So, 17.
Sounds like I don't give a fuck. Tell me what you did the first time.
40, I think it was last time. But whatever.
And I do it again.
17 if you want. Easier number.
Alright, well, once Eva's up in the cut, we'll head on up.
You say
I need to think about something for a second.
Yeah, no worries. Alright, it'll be interesting. Interesting that we're including Matt in the conversation too, saying that he's technically the contractor and doesn't have I guess he has a bit, but
paperwork. I will 100% be around these times on Friday.
Okay,
the
good.
contractor is not an official
It's
associate.
just, I might be around tomorrow and before then, depending on paperwork, but Friday's
Okay.
guaranteed.
No problem. That's completely fine. I appreciate it. And if we have to reschedule for our little shindig, then we might do that for Friday too. We'll see.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I know you'd like to
Dusty,
be
I
involved.
think.
Okay. Can I on it for a sec?
I'm gonna change out horse, so that's alright. Give me a key for
Quick
the other
little aura
apartment.
farm, never heard nobody?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna change
go
mine
ahead
as
and change.
well.
Alright.
Yeah. Throw away the hunting horse. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen them around a ton, but I know that they also are usually around on slightly different times than I'm on. It's cool that they still have their like horse stuff going.
This road is very quiet today, mate.
Yeah, it is.
We have to breathe some life back into this fucking city.
Yeah. But that's what I was asking. I was asking Dusty too if she'd seen anybody around, but
Yeah.
just that Nikki guy, but nobody else.
No, we haven't seen DiCenzo's for a couple of days. We did see Bully Street here earlier.
Yeah, in the best.
They stayed in looking for law.
Yeah.
Well, their horses were there, and then they were down at the telegrams. But yeah, it was just us, them. There was another random crew that had like an iron wagon. Might have been okay, flowing them. What the fuck was that person? Did you want to see that?
Yeah, I saw
Wait,
that.
what?
Yeah, the
They just dived into the warehouse. There they are. I have no idea. They went past us earlier. G'day, mate.
Hello.
What if they turn around and they're like, "What you say, fella?"
Right, well, okay. Goodbye.
As a doctor, I've got a wide sash.
All right, we dodged a conversation. Okay, let's go by the bank then. Does anyone else need to stop anywhere else in town?
We can stop by the Pearl of Best still. I just need to stew.
She keep thinking about coming back this week. I'll make it line up.
Yeah. Probably doesn't want to get killed.
Ah, fucking rude. I said hello. You at least said hello back.
Bank then. Actually, bank then.
Oh. Okay, Ledger. Okay. Alright. This is why I don't take you hunting, Ledger. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I just keep having to think about things for moments.
Ah, yeah. Fair enough.
Ledger giving you problems.
Ah, he's just a dumb horse. I should have sent him to the
He's
glue
not.
factory months ago.
He's not.
Months ago, he should have gone to the glue factory. It's an absolute fucking miracle I haven't shot him yet.
He's a great horse.
He is an absolute fucking moron of a horse. But he gets me from point A to point B, so.
So yeah, why don't you buy a bag, mate? I'll give you some cash if you need it. Alright. Might just be us and that one woman in the city.
Has anybody seen Taipan?
Not really.
Not really.
Strange, doesn't seem to be many locals about that.
City's very.
Quiet,
Yeah, there
quiet,
is a-
quiet, calm, peaceful.
No, don't stop.
It's very Bundy-ill, what we'll call it. Alright, let's pop by the poo.
Tranquil. Hold on, I'll think of some more words. I think it's just super uber quiet. Super quiet. Super duper quiet. The most quiet.
Did John seriously say super duper?
Yeah, super duper quiet.
Hmm.
Ah, this zone.
Is that a rumble?
That was a
wagon?
wagon going very quickly, almost ran. was that? I remember. Some local. It was like the only local that came through.
Of course.
Why is she
Okay.
watching us?
Who, Eva?
Yeah.
That's what she does, mate. Watches everything, everyone, every soul.
Fair enough.
She needs to know different ways in which she can, you know, dismember whatever it is that's in front of her.
I think that's what
So
she's
the way
thinking
you do it is
about.
by watching.
I think she's just thinking about the different ways she could take us all out right now.
She's a Bundy, mate. That's all Bundy should be thinking about.
I was about to
And
say,
is what
don't
I
you do
think,
that,
right? Yeah,
John?
it's-
I was about to say.
I was thinking about how I could take you out with a spoon.
Me?
No, no, of course not. Of course not.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Make sure you all get something to eat if you need to. James will get something
Mm.
fresh.
Mhm. Ah, that is a good stew. Did you make that?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! It's got to be old. We haven't been in the Pearl.
Demented.
I made, I made a contract with the soup kitchen over there to make sure there's stew over here while we're gone.
Oh, okay, okay, good, good, good.
Yeah.
That was smart. That was smart.
Yep.
We're gonna be a minute, Eva. Sophia's just waiting inside for a second. She needs something. Alright, it's okay.
What?
You can control that side. I can see us doing some decent things with this soup kitchen though. I always thought about like having a crate out the front of it with, I know this is crazy, but some soup, you know?
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
we want to put a
the-
crate out of free soup?
yeah, for the
Oh,
homeless.
we're gonna attract the street
Well,
kids.
Like to, you know? Hey,
What's
street
wrong
kids
with
can be
street
handy.
kids?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with street kids.
they're
They're
fucking terrible,
definitely they definitely don't steal things and dress poorly and in general cause a ruckus. They're great.
Yeah.
They're great.
You let them grow up, watch out for what they become, you know?
Exactly. Watch
They
out
might
when
wear
they
black
come.
and kill people for a living. But when they're young, they're adorable. Anyways. It's good to be back here. But for now, we'll mount back up, everyone. We'll head back north. Is there anywhere else we need to stop before we get cracking? Okay. Come back home tomorrow. At least that's the plan.
Bank, because I got money out to pay the rent for our apartment, and Sophia already did it, so.
Alright, okay, we can do that. I think it is.
Sorry to go back.
Sorry.
It's a lack of coordination for you. You can just give the money to me.
Funny enough, Sophia said the same thing.
She is your landlord, is she not?
Damn right.
Very excited about Sophia being your landlord.
Sophia told you to give her the money. You told her no.
Huh?
Sophia told you to give her the money, and you said no to her.
I paid the first two, and I went to go pay the third, and didn't realise she'd already paid it. So she said, "Don't worry." They said, "Well, you can still give me the money if you like."
He said no, he fell for the trap.
Why are we
ran away.
paying? Why are we paying for rents in apartments that we're not utilizing right now?
Fuck. Do I need to? We need to pay rent? Is that what you're telling me?
No, we don't. We'll worry about that later.
Talk some. What the fuck happened? The sun was just coming up. What is going on? Jesus Christ. We'll talk more about specifics with the city when we get back. We shall see.
Dude, I debated it
We'll-
on making it a bit shit
Yeah,
for Matt,
it's hard
but
to
I don't
fucking
let it
say,
go.
so-
Let it go.
These assholes wearing the black coats, hey?
Hey, what do you mean you told Sophia no?
Must be.
Not often you see
No,
people riding through town with bad blues.
I was about to say, according to the deputies, the kind of
Yes, the one bandolier, that was enough.
The one band. Well, I've got my little
Jesus.
pouch here.
Oh, pouch, of course. The fucking pouch. You look like a psychopath, of course. Who wears pouches but fucking
What were you thinking?
gangsters and shit? Jesus. It's full of, squirrel skulls and shit, probably. It actually could be. Shame you all didn't get to meet Tommy. He was funny. He wouldn't have that. He would have fucking skulls, probably. Now that was a psycho. In a weird way.
I was gonna give Matt shit for telling Sophia no, just to see if he would squirm a little bit.
Yes. They are funny. I don't know how it's happened, but we're a family full of couples. But that is also one of the things that gives us strength, I know for a fact the Genzos and in general Italians often say things like love is bad for business and so on.
It's funny because John totally agrees with that statement. Totally agrees with the Shinto take on that. Little hypocrite motherfucker. Alright, let's go have this conversation about Taipan, huh?
Now we've also gotten to get some bit of coordination going with our riding, everyone. Yes, we've had that practice. Next
Yeah,
wall, we'll be
good.
riding in beautiful formations. Work on the diamond for the next one. Imagine having a firefight in this forest, eh?
Yeah. I'm sure we'd lose each other more than we did. Of course, the rain.
Yeah. Honestly, did very fucking well considering.
Yeah,
And the main thing is that we're all still here. It's always a priority.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully we can get over this hill without getting fucked by a way of getting in. Alright.
Dang, I cannot believe that half the stream the TeamSpeak was muted. That is on me, guys. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
that bloke say something?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, I could have swore
Yeah,
I
I
heard
think
someone
it was
go,
a
hello,
local.
hey, hello.
No, I just said, ooh, because I
Yo,
didn't
Teresa,
see him
read the
until
follow.
very last second.
Just in time for the big combo.
Alright, let's get inside and have a fucking thing all.
Ah, yes, the dramatic lighting.
Is there a better kind?
Well, for you, no lighting at all.
That's very true.
Apple Wash if you need to, everybody. Come on in. Pick a spot somewhere where we can all have a decent little chat.
I'll be thinking about a few things, but again, I'll be able to hear you. I just won't speak much. Be a bit quiet.
Okay, well, Matthew, this is the chat that was going to be private, but I'd like at the very least to listen, okay?
Alright.
So that works out just fine. Does anyone else need to take a minute before we discuss?
Appreciate that. I don't want these to go to waste.
Oh shit, my pockets are looking very full. What is it, mate? Oh, fuck, okay, alright.
You can trade something.
I'm sorry, I was going to put my rifle on my back. Nothing wrong with a little bit of luxury up here in the mountains, mate. Thank you, Zavia. Cheers, everyone. You're supposed to swallow it, right?
I think you're supposed to chew it, not snort it.
No, I just swallowed it entirely.
Is he thinking already?
All right. We have everyone in here, correct? Is everyone that's around?
Mm-hmm.
All right. A couple of things for us to address, everybody. Obviously, there was that conversation that we just had in Thieves that we can, I guess, briefly chat about, although you all heard it. As I mentioned briefly, for now, they have shaken on it, they have provided their word, and while there is very few things that we can ever trust about an outlaw, that is one of the few things that they typically provide that is reasonable. And as we saw in our initial skirmish with them, while their demands, or counteroffers, I should say, were fucking ridiculous, they did again conduct themselves fairly reasonably, all things considered. So for now, the plan is to mostly trust that shake and trust that there is a parlay until we organise the time and place. In case you didn't hear me say it earlier, the goal is for us to aim for this to be Wednesday evening. I reckon that would be one of the few days this week that would line up for as many of us as possible. If that ends up not happening, then my plan is to reschedule for either Friday or Thursday, depending on availabilities and so on. I know obviously Dusty, you're at Friday. Matt, you're at least tomorrow. Or probably tomorrow. And probably until the weekend. For now, we'll just assume it's normal. John, I know you swapped some things around, and me and Eva can be available any other day. Sophia, do you have plans on not being around any night in particular this week? I, of course, would prefer you to be there.
Yet I have no plans.
All right, beautiful. Well, for now then, we will stick to that. We will uphold our word, as we always will. I'm never going to shake a hand or make a promise that we will break. So for now, there is a parlay. You're not to go hunting for these people. If you encounter them on your own or when you're out and about in small parties and so on, you are to remind them of the agreement, especially if they try to agitate and so on. You need to remind them that our expectation is that the parlay should be held, and we do intend to collect. If they do push and disregard it, then obviously all of that goes completely out the fucking window. But if anyone is going to break their word and break a handshake that was conducted in front of all the fucking Thieves Landing, let it be them. Not the city people who these Thieves Landing fucks expect to break their word. So under no circumstances are any of you or any of me or any fucking of us Bundys to cross that line. No matter what is said, the only thing that can change that is if they try to threaten you and goad you into a direct fuckery. We all good with that, everybody?
Yep, all good.
Yep.
Alright. To that end, I don't believe there's anything else to address to it unless anyone has a point that I missed or any questions or clarification needed with this bloke. For example, during these conversations, I'm focused on him rather than the environment, so I'm not sure if there's anything happening around us that I need to be made aware of. Anything else someone would like to bring up in regards to it?
Yet I have nothing else.
Now, in general, with how this family is run, I rely on all of you to trust in my judgment that I want. Obviously, none of us are infallible. Decisions will be made from time to time that may not be ideal or may not make a lot of sense. Typically, there is a lot of things that happen that are planned in the future, considerations of the past that not everybody is looped in on. And frankly, it's not possible to loop everyone in on this shit. That's why we operate in the way we do. But I would like to clarify and state the reason we didn't just drag this fucking Goldilocks asshole out of Thieves and blast his kneecaps off is that Via did specifically request that this be aimed towards Dazza. And also, as we all know, we picked him up and we blasted out his kneecaps. Then tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that, things escalate and continue. We're not looking for that. We're looking for retribution. That's it. This doesn't mean that we are above picking people up on their own. That absolutely will happen in the future and has happened in the past. In this certain circumstance, that's why this agreement was achieved and why it deemed to be the most reasonable outcome, given the circumstances. So if your stance on this is still same location, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, enough of that then.
It was through the thigh, not the kneecap.
Sure.
The sentiment is the same regardless.
Exactly. As long as it's directed towards them, then it is what it is. And as I stated, I'm willing to offer them those other couple accommodations. Although something that we can all think on in the next 24 or 48 hours is a battlefield that we are going to suggest. Needs to be somewhere not just purely in the east, but also obviously not purely out west. So consider different areas you all know. Consider, of course, the factors like avoiding law and trying to find a place that these bastards will agree to. But we will discuss that tomorrow and Wednesday. Now, in the meantime, we have more important matters to discuss. I will be addressing everybody in the family directly about this at some point, but since we have most of you associates here present this evening, it seems to be an appropriate time to have a chat. Matthew, typically this sort of conversation is not for your ears. However, this does impact you, especially as you have been consistently directly working with us very closely. And eventually you'll be made aware. So you may as well at the very least hear this. But the voices that will be heard will be everyone else that's present primarily.
Understood.
Good. That also means, Matt, I know you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. Like you being here in this room when we discuss certain things, it is a very big fucking leap for this family to take. And it is a privilege to be here hearing these things. But it is also a symbol of your recognition of your efforts and the trust that the family is placing in you specifically. So, for the more important matters, let's just recap briefly so we're all on the same page. What we are here to discuss is the direction of the Bundy family in Saint Denis in the coming weeks, months, and so on. The DiCenzos have come to us discussing their issues with Taipan. And as you all know, we have fundamentally stated to both sides that we will be neutral in their conflict. And the only way that that boundary would be pushed out of neutrality is if one of those two sides pushes in a certain direction. The DiCenzos have respected it, treated all of us fairly. They've even continued to do very profitable business for both sides, consistently since this broke out. On the Taipan side of things, since we refused Zhang Wei the first time, I've only ever had one other discussion with him. We have refused again to support them. And since then, we've received silence. We've received cold shoulders, cold stares. And who knows what words have been spoken about us in hushed corridors and dark houses just like this one. For now, it is utterly clear that Taipan does not trust us, nor do we trust them. Our family used to be, once upon a time, quite close with the Taipan family, if you want to call it that. And since we refused to provide them with support, that was completely, utterly dropped on their part. We even explicitly stated to both sides that we will happily continue to do business with both of them, as long as it's not in support of the war effort. And while technically, sure, any support could be considered that, this is too fucking bad, you know. Bottom line is that we need to address this because obviously Taipan has not respected our neutrality. Now, while this has been waging on for months, there's been incidents that have occurred, slights against us in particular, lack of invitations to events, lack of support in business, events, marketing. We've also, of course, seen a portion of the east side of town essentially flattened, purely just to get at the DiCenzos. Although, let's not forget the DiCenzos have themselves caused damage to the city, and obviously they are not without fault. However, they didn't damage our side of the city, so it's a little bit different. And at the end of the day, we're not here to police the entire city, although it is my goal to one day have a large amount of influence over the east side of town. An area that we can deem safe to be neutral of the west and the south side. Place for business to flourish, events to be held, and for all of us to be able to go about our daily duties and responsibilities unmolested. We'll get there one day. So what's changed, essentially, is that the DiCenzos have been banned from Saint Denis. There was some sort of agreement between themselves, Law, and Taipan that there would be no more conflict in the city itself. Now, details were not necessarily conveyed directly to me and Eva, but essentially what has occurred is there was, of course, a battle in the city after this agreement was made. And the DiCenzos are claiming that Taipan has very emphatically exaggerated what occurred and essentially placed all blame towards Law on the DiCenzos. So not only has there been this exaggeration to obviously hurt the DiCenzos and get them banned from the city, but Taipan has also, according to the DiCenzos, been talking explicitly to Law about their conflict, and they've been doing this the entire time. So, this changes things. Any political entity that operates in Saint Denis should be adhering to a certain code of conduct. Some people like to use the word rules. Back in the old days, people would have used other words like honor, respect. Whatever you want to fucking call it, Taipan is clearly not adhering to this. There is evidence, there is a trail, and a heavy fucking scent that they are actively talking to Law. And it is this belief of this family that they are definitely to some extent in bed with the law. They utilize them for their own gain. This is unacceptable. Doesn't matter if it's Taipan, doesn't matter if it's DiCenzo's, doesn't matter if it's some fucking nobodies that pop up tomorrow. There is a political entity in the city that is collaborating with law to work against other crews in the city, other families like our own that are respectable. Then that crosses a boundary that cannot be turned back from. That provides a permanent branding of a fucking rat. Thus, this is a threat not only to the DiCenzo's, but to us and to everyone else that follows along with our way of life. Now, when we had a recent discussion with the DiCenzo's about this, and they informed us of all of these things, they also informed us of Taipan further dishonouring themselves by calling upon Western support. They have Raskella actively riding along in their ranks, picking up guns. Not for the first time. And previously, when they did, Raskella gave the DiCenzo's a very heavy run for their money. After their war with DiCenzo's was finished, then Taipan declared war, and we all know how that's been going. So there's a lot of different angles to consider as we share our opinions, share pieces of information and points that are worth being aware of. But when we discuss this with the DiCenzo's, and it's now becoming more and more evident, they did state that while they still continue to respect our neutrality, if we were ever going to help them, now would be the time. So, that is part of the issue. It could be a good excuse for us to start making moves. But at the very bare minimum, we need to identify a clear direction in how we will conduct ourselves in relation to Taipan in terms of a political stance. Taipan, funnily enough, the exact same day reached out for a meeting. And for now, I've told them that we will get back to them and we'll try to meet sometime later this week. I told them Wednesday for now, but I haven't received a reply, and I'm going to push it further towards the weekend. But in the meantime, all of you have been approached by me, most of you, and you've been told to think of opinions, points of view, pieces of information, and they're worth sharing before I make a final decision on what direction this family will be taking. Now, before we get to sharing opinions around the room, there's, in my mind, there's only two options right now. Option number one is we continue as we have been. Continue in neutrality, although this neutrality will be a very hard fucking neutrality, where we will not be engaging in any business whatsoever with Taipan. Those days are done. They've lost that privilege. This neutrality, in my mind, also has us focus on the east side of town in particular, laying claim to it, building it up, making it something worth people coming by, worth being spoken about around the crossing. That's my goal. There's a lot of specifics that can come with this over time, but essentially what would happen with this stance of neutrality is that they keep their shit out of this side of town, as in Taipan specifically, and we keep our shit out of Chinatown. They stick to their business, we stick to ours, and if they cross any boundaries, if a fucking squeak is sent towards law about anything Bundy related, then that would be unacceptable. And lines will be blurred, guns will be drawn, and it will be very different to how they've been taking on the DiCenzo's. We will not be holding ourselves to the same restrictions and discussions and agreements. Taipan's already shown that they will level part of our area of the city. We can bury theirs. The second option is that instead of staying neutral as we have been, we will actively support the DiCenzo's in their war against Taipan, and we will start to actively make moves against Taipan. This does not mean we pick up guns and go against them. That won't be happening. That's not our place. And more specifically, this means that we may be sharing information that works against Taipan. We will pass on the whereabouts to the Itachenzos and anyone else that's in conflict with them about where they are, who they are, what they do, how they breathe, where they sleep, anything and everything that can be useful. And we will start to make moves towards their removal as a political entity in Sanctiny. So in my mind, those are our two options. Obviously, this bodes a lot of ramifications for our family and for all of you as individuals as well. When you all signed up for this family, you did state that there would be certain things that would occur, there would be major changes. And already, most of us aren't the same people we were a couple months ago. Despite the challenges we've had to face with this conflict and others, still am very proud of how all of you have acted yourselves during this conflict and carry yourselves day to day. And while of course nothing is perfect, I still see a very bright future ahead for all of us, one that none of us have truly considered to even be possible. But it's these moments, it's these little glints along the line of destiny in which there's forks in the road. There is no middle, it's a left or a right. So, it is time for us to weigh up opinions, pieces of information and points before we decide which direction we're going to be taking. Now, I'm not here to give my opinion, here to share the facts and keep you all up to date with the information that we have so far in regards to this. I believe all of you have been looped in as to all of the relevant information in regards to this discussion and what we will do with Taipan. Before we go around the room, either is there anything that you would like to address or bring up before we do so?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. This discussion, by the way, everybody, doesn't mean it's your final say or final thoughts. You can still provide some, but the decision will be needing to be made in the next few days. So this is a platform, if anything, share our opinions, no matter what they are. Sophia, I would like you to get started. You've had a unique experience coming to Saint Denis. You've been here for some months now. Obviously, you've worked alongside John and Dusty, and now us. What are your thoughts on what should be done, and do you have anything else to share that we should consider in relation to this Taipei issue?
I suppose any conflict with Taipan would ultimately be an inevitability with the way it is going for the Dichenzos being pushed out by Taipan's actions. Who's to say that we would not be next if they try to gain more power in the city? I suppose my stance is more with the Dichenzos than neutrality.
Okay.
We can try to keep neutrality for as long as we can, but again, who's to say that it would not become us in later days?
It's a fair point. Is there anything else?
Yeah, I don't have any more to add to that.
Okay. Dusty, falls to you next.
Bottom line, I don't want to work with rats. And it's constantly being said over and over and over again that these people are rats. While we don't have cold hard evidence of that, there's enough there to make you at least, very least, second guess these people. And as Sophia said, who's to say that if they manage to successfully push the Chinzos out completely, they don't turn on us as well and do the same thing to us, utilize law. Good morning.
Beatrice? Did we wake you up, mate?
No, not at all. Hello. Hey, Beatrice.
Good morning. I was lucky I was about to reach for my blade. I must recognize you for a second.
Hmm.
Good to see
Hey,
you,
you
Beatrice.
don't have your dress on.
I know. I have to
Yeah.
dress different. So I have to wear trousers.
Sure. Beatrice, this is funny timing. We're in the middle of a conversation about some major things.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, everything's okay right now, by the way. We're fine. We have sent you a telegram, by the way, stating that at the moment there is a parley between us and Daz's crew. Tomorrow, the goal is for us to be heading back into Saint Denis, briefly. And this evening, if you end up staying around, B, I'm okay with us going back into the city, but not on our own. I want you to have at least one other person with you.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, we still keep our heads in swivels. But for now, we have shaken hands and declared that there is a parley until we organise the time and place to resolve our issues.
All right.
The plan is for Wednesday night. We'll see what happens. And while they might not know officially that you're riding with us, still, for now, we assume the worst here. They knew Matthew was riding with us. At least some Westerners know. So, for now, it's just worth keeping that in mind.
All right.
I know we probably need to have a bit of a catch-up and so on, B. But that can probably wait till after this, as we're in the middle of this. It's funny time. You can still listen in on this, though, B, if you like. If you want to
Alright.
take a moment, that's fine. All right. Continue, Dusty.
I suppose the question is how we take this, because your first option is a good one, remaining neutral, but cutting them off as a hard neutral as far as Taipan is concerned. But that's not necessarily neutral, that's more of a, we're cutting off business, we're cutting off ties, which, I mean, they've effectively already did, but because despite them being rats and everything, they've not really done anything to us specifically, besides, you know, the occasional slight, not inviting us to things. If that's slight enough to cause issue, then
Sure, for now.
that I'm still iffy on what the best choice would be.
Okay. I will also say, just to add as well, if we do decide with that first option of neutrality, they've already obviously demonstrated they're very unhappy with us being currently neutral. So there's a very good chance that this neutrality will lead to conflict, and regardless of whatever we decide, we are actively going to be making preparations in whatever way we can. So I will clarify that.
Okay.
But still, neutrality of cutting them off, that's probably the minimum of what's going to occur. And also to address your first point, Dusty, collaboration and work between us and them, that's done. That's never happening.
Yeah, so regardless of which option we choose, we're cutting off ties completely.
Essentially, yes. As long as they stay out of their way, stay out of our way, we'll stay out of theirs. There's
Is
not
it
going to be any
even
collaboration.
is it even worth having a meeting with Wei then?
I'm there to listen, but I'm not going to be speaking much, is what I'll put. I'm curious to know what direction they try to spin things, how he tries to wiggle his tongue. And I'm also curious to know if he'll outright threaten us, because if he does, then he'll make his decision for us.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Anyway, is there anything else to add, Dusty?
I can't think of anything right now.
Okay. If you do, let us know. But for now, then, we'll shift over to John.
It seems to me that we're all on the same page, that Taipan is an enemy, whether immediately or in the not-so-distant future. If that's the case, our enemy's been at war for a long time. They're likely tired. They're likely low on supplies. They're low on morale. They don't even come around the city much anymore. The way I see it, it's better to crush them now while they're weak, rather than give them time to rebuild, get more people, gather up more morale, make the fight harder down the road.
Okay. There would be 2 points that I would sort of add to consider and see if you can expand a bit on it. So the first one would be, while it does give them time to prepare, it also will provide us with some as well. And, you know, while this conflict we're in hasn't necessarily drained our resources and so on, it has distracted us. And we all know that we also need more time to formulate our operations and how we operate as a family. Having a couple more months or something like that definitely would benefit them, unfortunately, but it also benefit us. So that it is at least a bit of a double-edged sword, I would add to keep in mind. The second thing then is, what does crush them mean? Does that mean push them out of the city entirely? Does it mean go into a war and place restrictions on them? Where is the limit?
Well, I think currently we're not talking about picking up a gun against them, right? So far, the conversation has primarily been just around helping the Dichinzos.
True, yes.
So, the way I see it, while we're helping the Dichinzos hopefully win their war, at the same time, we can continue to build ourselves up. And then if it comes time, when it becomes time for us to pick up a gun, by then hopefully we are at least more ready than we are now. And they won't be. To the second point, I am not comfortable with a group that is talking to law actively, rats, which is what they are, claiming territory in the city. I understand that we can't, take over the entire city ourselves, but there's not a world where I don't think any of us should be comfortable with the fact that there's a active organization, a criminal organization, I might add, actively participating in conversations with law and ratting to law.
Sure. I believe we would all be in agreement on that. So you're saying once open conflict does eventually begin, it will be for the removal of their position in Saint Denis. Okay. Whether we like it or not, it probably will come to a head like that eventually. And you're completely correct, and it is important that we all do remember This isn't just a bit of a disagreement. This isn't just them sliding us and so on here and there. This is not only a fundamental difference in our policies and our ethos, but it specifically threatens everything on who we are. And not just who we are, but also allies of the past, present, and also the future. There will be others that come to the city. There will be more. Try to plant a flag, make a name for themselves. And should they be builders just like we are, then it would be a threat to them. If we would need to be on the same page. John, do you have any further considerations?
No. No. That's all I got.
Okay.
If we, or I suppose when we eventually go into conflict with Taipan, we probably should take in consideration what the Chinzos have done and use it as lessons. Last thing we want to do is get pushed out, get law on our back and everything else. And the last thing I want to do is fucking damage the city that we live in.
Agreed.
So I suppose if we do go in that route eventually, we probably should sit down and consider those things for when that comes.
Fortunately, I've already been making preparations in that regard for a long time. But yes, you're correct. We should talk about these things openly between ourselves and formulate things a bit more directly and specifically so we're all on the same page. And learning the lessons of others who have failed where we won't will definitely be important. As that is part of the ethos of our family. We don't know everything, nor do we make the best decisions, nor is our aim the sharpest. But we learn and we adapt. And that's why we're still here, where so many others are not, and many have tried. Sophia, do you have any further points to add to this discussion?
Yet I have no further.
Okay. Beatrice, I know you've walked into the middle of this, so I'll address briefly. But essentially, we are trying to identify the direction of this family in regards to Taipan. The DiCenzo family has been banned from Saint Denis. From their point of view, what they're claiming is large in part to Taipan, ratting to law, exaggerating their interactions, which has led to the law specifically only banning the DiCenzo's family, still allowing Taipan to remain in the city.
Well, it sort of confirms what I'd been thinking, that they are working with law. They don't care. Like, ends justify the means. You know, they don't care.
Exactly. Santino himself has said to me on multiple occasions that he claims that Jiang Wei has said to his face and others that he will use law to his advantage. He will use it against his enemies. I don't believe you got to hear it, B, but for example, Sisika guards are advertising his fucking business.
What?
There's only so much proof that we can get. Yeah. So with all of these different things, as I mentioned, at the bare fucking minimum, there is no way that we can't look at these people other than anything than being rats.
No, they can't be trusted.
Exactly. Which is a shame, because we did once upon a time
Ban
trust
them all
them.
from
And
this city, exactly, Lily.
I'll be honest, we did try to advocate for Jiang Wei a little bit, because originally it was nothing but rumors. And if someone did the same thing to us and said the Bundys are rats, then I would take great personal offence. But also, all it takes is a rumour to ruin someone's reputation. So that's why we haven't immediately dived on this little fucking wagon like many others have. And also, to be fair, this has primarily come from the Chenzos, who have been rivals of Taipan for years. But things are coming more and more to light. Anyway, B, essentially that is where we're at, and that is why I'm trying to get the opinions of everyone who is at least an associate and more in the family on any pieces of information they have, points to consider, and an opinion about what to do in regards to Taipan. Everyone else has spoken, and while I will address Barty and Rico and Esmere specifically on their own, just because they're not here today, you are still a part of this family, B. Do you have any input you would like to add? Anything noteworthy worth sharing?
Gee. Noteworthy.
I'm sure you've had your own personal interactions with them. For example, has there been any issues that we're not aware of?
That you're not aware of? I don't think so.
You know about the gun range incident, so yeah.
There was one time where a fight broke out, and it was after everyone fled the telegram station. It was Buddy and Akiko and I, and so, she seemed, worried. We took her up to our room and just sat and spoke with her for a bit to try and keep her, I guess, safe, which is probably the most we've done. And I don't know. And that what she told us, maybe we did tell you this, because she told us that she was told that we were selling, Bonnie and I were selling guns to the Dichenzos, which is not true. And I said, well, who told you that? And don't give me I don't remember. I said, oh, well, I really don't know. Just her demeanor seemed very forced, manipulative. I didn't like it.
Yeah, sounds like.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
So.
Thing about her, which I'm sure you see, B, they're very intelligent, but she certainly plays on the sweet innocent girl act.
Yes.
I'm not gonna
Especially,
really talk
being
about
injured
it 'cause
as
it's
well.
not my place to talk about, but we're definitely not gonna
Exactly, yeah.
attack random
I'm sure
people
she
in the
really
chat
milked on that.
over
And I can
shit
see
that
why you and Barty would feel
Anyway,
compassionate bound to
let's
help
move
her
on
out in
from
the
that.
moment.
Well, if it was just the three of us, we invited her to our wedding.
Sure.
We sat in with her for maybe 20 minutes and she left.
Okay.
There is
don't worry about it.
something
It was
else.
about the thing that I'm sure you know, the big thing, the
before the
elephant in the room
wedding.
thing. Don't worry about it.
The Chenzos told us that once while they were speaking to, maybe Body's mentioned this, speaking to Mr. Wei, I think, Mr. Wei said something to the effect of, it'd be a shame if something happened to Body.
Santino said the same thing to myself and John. Apparently the same meeting. The meeting that the diplomacy meeting that they were having the same time the Alliance then got blown up. They had said something along the lines of, it'd be a shame if people like Dusty and Barty would get hurt in something like this, in this war.
A little odd.
Okay.
Nothing ever came of it, obviously, but
Yeah.
apparently it was said. Apparently.
Yeah. When before we all, of course, merged into one, when we met with Zhang Wei, there were certainly underlying threats. There wasn't anything as explicit as that, but there was certainly, you know, if you don't help us out now, then you'll probably regret it in the long run. That sort of shit. So it's not surprising that they're willing to threaten anyone that doesn't immediately comply with their demands. Which is why, ever since we told them no, we've been preparing mentally as well as materialistically for an eventual conflict with them.
Sometimes I wonder if it's really Bailey running everything with the way they act, because he's so belligerent and jumps to conclusions and he's trigger happy and all their movements seem that way. Makes me wonder if he's just, I don't know. Or maybe he's allowed to make all the decisions. Mr. Wei just sits back and lets him do whatever he pleases. I don't know. But to go to law, you can't consider that an extension of your power or whatever. They're everyone's enemy. It's ridiculous. Absolutely who's going to ally themselves with a criminal organization who's, you know, scratching the back of the law? It's ridiculous.
Exactly. I will say something that we do know about Bailey is that he was actually the one who started Taipan Industries in the crossing.
Oh.
He ended up passing on to Zhang Wei, and at least that's how Wei has put it, and essentially they seem to be co-rulers, if you will. Although my suspicion is that Bailey is Zhang Wei just speaking honestly for once. Otherwise, if not, then Zhang Wei would stop him. Or at least he would counter it, he would speak up. We've never heard him contradict Bailey, despite Bailey disrespecting us in the past to our faces. Wei has tried to relatively patch things up, and as I briefly mentioned, they have reached out for a meeting. They reached out in the last few days. And it was very much a friendly telegram looking to rekindle our old friendship.
Is that what it said?
Yeah, essentially.
Well,
yes.
well, I mean, everyone knows what that means, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Gonna join us? Gonna join us?
It means they're desperate. They have no one else.
Well, if they're relying on law, then this is a war they started, mind you.
They're relying on law and Western groups.
They started this. This is what you get. Can't go hide behind the skirts of Big Mama Law.
Well, depends on the side that you listen to. According to their side, they didn't start it. But according
Yes,
to
they
the
did.
Chinzos, apparently they pulled the trigger first to start this war.
That's always been what I heard.
So, I don't know.
That they shot first. They confronted them first. That's always what I've heard. I've never heard the other way around. And considering, you know, they even named themselves after snakes, you know, how can you trust what they're going to say?
Yeah.
Yo, Chad, that real is Taipan a snake? I didn't even know that shit.
Is there anything else you wish to add, B?
I don't really know much more.
Sure.
I'm not even sure who's all a part of him, really.
My list of people are probably outdated. All of my information's probably outdated. I've not gotten information since they cut me off.
Probably, yeah. Either way, we'll be finding out, and that will be one of our other preparations we will need to make. These points, these opinions are helpful, everybody. I'll come to a final decision before we have our meeting with them. We will hear them. We will see what it is that they have to say. But at the bare minimum, we're going to be keeping our distance as long as they keep theirs from ours. I will clarify, however, that I do not share in the Chenzo's crusade against opium, nor does his family.
Yeah, I don't really care about opium at all.
Exactly. And while sure, this war probably isn't really about that.
Not
At
really.
the end of the day, if the Dicenza said, you know what, Taipan, go ahead and sell, good luck, I would say, okay, we don't give a fuck. That's fine. But I did declare that neither opium nor cocaine will be flowing through the Pearl. And for now, that is still going to be our stance. So let's
Plenty of
say
other
that we...
places to sell it.
Exactly. They can do it outside. They can do it around the fucking corner in a little place called Chinatown. I don't care where. But they keep their shit out of our space, we keep ours out of theirs.
I mean, regardless, even if it's something else that someone's selling, I'd much rather people don't use our place to conduct business.
Oh yeah, at the bare fucking minimum. I'm also saying if they come around, they're hanging out and they're consuming.
Oh, okay.
So that's crossing the line. They consume before they come over, okay, fine, can't stop you. But they're not going to be standing in the Blue Pearl, smoking on an opium pipe and smiling to our faces. They can get the fuck out. And that is something everyone here has the authority to say. At least in the Blue Pearl. That is our home. That will not be disrespected. But beyond that, that is the Dicenzo's prerogative, and thus far we have respected it. But honestly, that's mostly irrelevant.
Yeah, more focused on, you know, the whole ratting and slights to us and everything else.
Exactly. Okay. Does anyone have any other final points, questions, pieces of information to throw my way specifically?
No.
Eva, do you have any final words?
No, it's a lot to think about.
Certainly. As I mentioned, everyone, Barty, Esme, Rico will have their own discussions with me, but I do appreciate you all taking the time to have chats. I know we've been riding hard the last few days. If any of you wake up earlier tomorrow, as I mentioned, I'm okay with us all returning to Saint Denis, as long as, again, you're not on your own. Head down there with at least another person, be smart, and remember, while we may have a parley with these people, which can or cannot be trusted, we also still have the usual threats all around the crossing. So conduct yourselves appropriately, be safe. But for tonight, we will be staying out here. Tomorrow, we can return to the city, if you would like. Then we will collaborate on trying to organise, hopefully, a final confrontation. And we'll see what happens. And I will reiterate again, everyone, if you are confronted by Daz or any of his people, you are to remind them of the agreement that they shook their hands on and provided their word. But at the end of the day, you do what you need to do. Defend yourself.
All right.
Okay. B, I need to borrow you for a few minutes. If anyone else needs to go ahead and get some rest, now's the time. If anyone's going to go ahead and take off, maybe give us a few minutes for me and B to have a chat first. Because I imagine B will be up for a bit. But anyway, again, thank you all for your efforts, everyone.
Step outside for fresh air.
Alright.
Lay my head down for an hour or so.
Okay.
All right.
Good night. Have a good nap.
Yeah, good to see you all.
Good night, all.
Good seeing you as well.
Straight in the rain.
find somewhere with less underneath a tree.
This is about as under the tree as I can get.
Yeah. Dude, that was a great scene. It was a great little combo. I'm excited to see what Jacko kind of plays at. Obviously, John. Ever since
What do
the
you think?
the blowing up of the lines, and he's kind of had a thing against Saipan on that. I mean, I don't know. I don't have really much else to add to what I said. If it was up to me, we strike them now. I mean, you know, before we merge, I was already doing that.
By strike, you mean, doing things to...
Yeah.
You're not,
I mean,
you don't mean picking up a gun, right?
For now. It's gonna happen at some point. Still think it's better to get ahead of it.
Yeah, it is.
At the end of the day, they're rats.
They are.
The only way to get rid of a rat problem is to exterminate it.
Well, the thing with this that we have to really think about is the rats in our city, in our home, a place that Lal already have eyes on. We have to be very, very strategic. Nor do I want to do anything to injure our home more than it has already with this war.
I agree.
I don't also want to be pushed out of our home.
The way I see it right now, we share a home with rats. It's disgusting.
It is.
We need to exterminate the rat problem one way or another. Right now, no, it doesn't mean picking up a gun or somebody else doing that. It means helping them exterminate the rats as best as possible.
More like cockroaches.
Yeah.
But yeah. We definitely don't need people like that in the city.
No,
Gives,
they
city
bring
bad
in
name.
more. They bring in these cowboys to come and fight their battles for them. It's disgusting. It's like rats bringing in a disease.
What I don't understand are these Western groups are outlaws. Do they not realize that they're working with rats?
Or do they not care? Or are they also rats? It's an infestation.
Maybe they see Taipan as these weak civilians that need help via mercenaries, and so they think, oh, well, if you're talking to law, that's fine. They're civilians.
I don't know, maybe.
Not considering the fact that they have been thrown into Sisika multiple times now. Probably seen as criminals in the eyes of the law.
No.
It kind of forfeits the whole talking to law thing card.
I mean, you know how I felt since the day they blown up the Lion's Den. My opinion hasn't really changed. All of a sudden, it's been worse, to be honest. I mean, back then I didn't even know they were ratting the law. You're gonna blow up half the city, and then you're gonna go rat to law on your enemies.
Yep.
And then I'm sure during this conversation we're gonna hear the word honor being used. Because it's a punchline to all these people. I don't know what honor is.
Yeah, Way's gonna do his typical manipulative silver tongue bullshit as he normally does. Try to maybe apologize, or probably doesn't even think that he's done anything wrong, so maybe not even apologize.
I mean, if it's true what Jacko just said, and that he was bragging to Santino that he used his law against his enemies, then clearly he doesn't think he did anything wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the group, again, that brought in Western groups to fight their battles for them inside the city. I don't have... the bar, it could not be lower.
I don't see any scenario where we forgive and forget.
No. And look, I understand the idea of a peaceful neutrality sounds good. It does. It sounds peaceful. It sounds like business. But it's not real. It's delaying the inevitable, and it's going to allow them to become stronger. They've been around for a long time, it sounds like, and that means they know how to rebuild, and they're going to come back stronger. Hitting them when they're weak is the best option.
So if we did choose an option to help the Chinzos, hitting them when they're weak, what are you thinking that we could do to help?
Constantly be in the city. You see them, you telegram the Chinzos immediately. There they are. Just a constant stream of information every time they're spotted. Make them fear being in their own city. I mean, it's almost that way now anyway. I don't even see them around, but that's exactly what it should be. It's just like when you see a rat in the house. You shoot it immediately. It's the same thing. We're not the ones shooting it, but we're letting them know, hey, there's the rat.
Yeah. Anything else you can think of doing to help besides that?
I mean, whatever they need. I'm sure, maybe they need supplies. The same kind of thing we were doing before.
Dead drops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Though I suppose it wouldn't be a dead drop anymore if we're actively helping and we just show up with
bringing it. Yep. It's, medical treatment for their people.
Yeah. Which I think Jack already offered. That's the reason why we exchanged telegrams and had medical highlighted.
Yeah, I think we have, but that's just more. But I think the biggest piece is making Taipan feel as uncomfortable as possible every minute they're in the city. Force them to be in disguise the way that we are right now. Force them to be living out in the cabins the way that we are right now. That's my goal.
Gotcha. Shit, it seems like that's what they're basically doing now. I think people see them more often in Blackwater than they do the city.
Yep, and that's exactly how I want to keep it. Let them move to Blackwater. Let them move anywhere else where they're not becoming an infestation in our home.
I mean, they seem to have so many connections with the West. Fucking move to Blackwater.
It would be a better place for them. I truly don't know why they want to be in the city as bad as they do, but what can you do?
Because it sounds like that's where they started. Bailey opened Taipan gun store. Mm-hmm. Nostalgia, I guess. They don't want to move.
Go open the gun store, or go operate the gun store in Blackwater.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's operating that, especially... Yeah, I don't know if anyone's working that anymore. Or at all. I'm not entirely sure. It didn't seem like it last time we were there.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anybody there.
We definitely need people there.
No.
And they can sell opium there
Yeah, they can go, and they can go rat to law. People in Blackwater love talking to law. Go hang out with the people in Blackwater. They love it. They love law.
They love it.
They go spend time. Like, Blackwater is honestly perfect for them. I don't know why they don't want to go to Blackwater.
what I don't understand, and I guess a lot of people are like this. Maybe it's because I'm the way that I am that I don't understand. But you'll grow out of places. Direction that you're going in life and everything else, you grow out of places. You don't have to stay stuck in one fucking place. We moved around until we found a place.
Yeah. It's time for them to move on.
It's just how it is.
I was gonna say, what do you think this talks about? And then I remembered what this talk is about.
Yeah, we know what this talk is about.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
Did you see the faces that she was making there in the beginning, listening to us talk about it?
No, I was looking at you talk, and then I was looking at Jacko when I spoke. I didn't see her.
Yeah, she was frowning and everything. I guess the idea of war, because when she came into the conversation, we were talking about the way we were framing it sounded like war again.
Mm-hmm. But it's interesting because then when she spoke, she sounded almost equally as angry. She sounded very like she wanted them gone as well.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
my problem with that is, as much as I understand wanting everyone's opinion, if I'm being completely honest, I don't really give a shit about the opinion of someone who's not going to pick up a gun.
I honestly would have liked to hear Matt's opinion. Despite him being a contractor, he is picking up a gun.
Yeah, I would take his opinion over hers.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't know. I don't quite understand the hierarchy of the structure here, so I'm still trying to figure it out. But I don't know. I don't understand a lot of things, I guess.
Yeah, she's a business associate. So is Barty.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't
They
know.
should be focused on business, not decisions about war. No, I suppose this is more decisions about politics than it is war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's also, I mean, I don't know. I understand and I appreciate him wanting our opinion, but at the end of the day, there's really only 4 opinions that should matter. And even then, it sounds like it really is he only cares about his opinion, and he's willing to be swayed by ours. But
Yeah, he already sounds like he's made a decision.
mm-hmm.
I mean, you have pointed this out before.
Yeah.
He says that he wants to hear all of our opinions, that we all have voices no matter where we are in the family, but bottom line.
Yeah, it's a smile and nod. This one was a little different because he wasn't quite as open about what he wants, and he gave 2 reasonable outcomes that I think he probably likes both. And so giving our actual opinions isn't harmful. But the majority of the time, he states what his opinion is, and then says, "Does anyone else have an opinion?" And
He's always
when
like that.
that's when you just smile, nod, and say, "Nope, no opinion, boss."
Yeah. I think the first option is basically what we're pretty much doing at this point.
It's just stating what's already happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not much. I mean, I guess it's making a little bit of a harder stance on the east side of the city and kind of making it more known that we don't want them around the east side of the city at all doing business. But the majority of it is, I mean, even that is almost entirely show. You know, are we really going to be forcing them out of sides of the city? I don't think so.
I think it's gonna be contested, that market. because in their eyes that is part of Chinatown to them,
Yeah.
and we utilize that for our own market.
Yeah, I think, and I know that no one wants to talk to them because they're a smaller, newer group. But I really think a conversation with this Nicky fellow and his group, I think it is warranted.
Well, we have to be very careful about that because remember that's what drove us away from Taipan.
Well, I'm not.
Well, initially.
I mean more completely. We should do what Shinzo said to us. I wouldn't even bring up Taipan. I wouldn't bring up any kind of issue between us and Taipan. But having a conversation with them just about them. What do they do?
Oh,
what kind of
okay.
work do they want to do? Growing a relationship with them will benefit us in the same way that it helped the Shinzos building a relationship with us that led us to where we are right now and having these conversations.
Yeah.
I think we need to get back in the city, and we need to be doubling down on our connections within the city that are not Taipan. We need to be spending time with Remo, Kit, and the rest of them. We need to be getting with Nikki and his new group. I don't know.
What I'm noticing with Jacko is he doesn't have a very good ability to simply talk to people to get to know them. He's always business focused, money focused. Like the Pavi, that meeting I felt was
How's it going, buddy?
awkward as fuck.
All good.
Hello, Birdie.
Yeah, doing good.
Good morning or good night, whatever time it is.
Whatever time
all
it
the
is,
same.
yeah.
Time's not real.
Yesterday was a late day for me.
Yeah? Yeah, this is pretty late, isn't it?
Pretty late day.
We were discussing groups in the city. Have you been in the city at all? I know you've been around a
No,
little
not
bit.
at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I haven't been in the city once.
Yeah. I was telling Dusty. I don't know if
Well,
you've
first
heard.
of all-
Have you heard about there's a parlay in our issue with Daza currently?
I was about to say,
Nope.
have you been
Didn't hear
filled
that
in?
one at all.
Okay.
Nope. I haven't thrown in anything yet.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if you were told anything before you stepped out.
No, literally just walked out. I saw that two of them was talking in the corner, so I just let them have their space.
Yeah. So we rode out today. We ran into. Do you remember his name? Is it Lane? Was that him?
Yeah, Lane.
Yeah.
The train man.
Yeah.
No, not
no.
Train
The
Man.
one that
a
rides with
different person.
Daza. Yeah. There's
Oh,
one that
alright,
rides
there's a
with
person named Lane that does.
The bow, the... Oh, wait, you weren't part of that shootout. He
Nope.
carries a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
He's the one that shoots arrows at people.
Contra.
We ran into him at Thieves. Daza was not there, but this Lane person said that he could speak on behalf of their group and agreed to a parlay of sorts. We're not going to hunt them, they're not going to hunt us, and we're going to set time for us to meet and handle this honorably. We'll bring our side and they'll bring theirs, and we'll pick a place. It'll most likely be on Wednesday, so...
a final fight, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, final fight.
Contra. Yeah, Contra. Good.
So...
Hopefully I can make it. Hopefully, I guess I'll wake up early again.
Yeah,
Fucking busy. It's busy, y'all.
it sounds like we're aiming for Wednesday. I know, it kind of depends on, obviously, both sides kind of have to figure that out, so
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But what I was telling Dusty is we need to start, once we kind of get back into the cities, probably starting tomorrow. Well, I plan on going to the city tonight, once they're finished with this conversation, just kind of look around. But tomorrow we can actually be in the city again, and we should really start talking to the other groups and just kind of building a closer relationship and a connection with them. Like Remo and the Bastille. I know he's on vacation, but whoever he has working over there with him and Kit. And then I really also want to get a little bit closer to this Nikki person. I guess the one that's running the Corrigan with whoever is with him.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about them.
Yeah, it'd be good to interact with them, see what all they have going on. I just think we need to ensure that our connections within the city are strong as they can be because of this thing with Taipan eventually is going to come to a head, and it's better to have as many allies as we can. But like I was telling Dusty too, is
inevitable.
I don't want to, and obviously I'll leave it up to Jacko on how much he wants to share with these people, but in my opinion, we should really not even talk about Taipan to these people. It should be entirely about their business, events that they want to put on, just supporting other people in the city, and I think that would kind of naturally lead to some
Good connections.
exactly good connections and some cohesion between our groups.
Yeah, don't utilize the same tactics Taipan does with the whole propaganda bullshit and
Yeah,
trying to
fuck
sway
that.
people that
Yeah.
way. Do it,
People can see through that
friendly
shit.
business.
Just messy that way if you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't need to drag people, especially new people, into politics. It's
People who
ongoing.
have no idea about anything going on, they just
Yeah.
get a full one-sided conversation.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Taipan did to us when we first walked into the city and moved in and introduced ourselves, saying, "Hey, we're moving in," and it's the first thing that they did. Just like, okay, this isn't what I was expecting a conversation to be.
So yeah, hopefully Daz lets us know. We can set that up for Wednesday, get that taken care of, and then can go back home and focus on everything else. Back to business.
It really is a shame about Taipan, but I'm not going to be working with rats.
No, absolutely not. Kind of had the seeming suspicion for years that they've been rats, but there's never been anything as concrete as there is now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were also talking about, is just disgusting. It's the ratting, it's the bringing Western groups to fight their battles.
That too was really bad.
And it's blowing up apartment buildings because
Yeah, probably killing many of people who lived in those apartment buildings too,
At the very least, making them homeless, especially at the beginning of fucking winter.
Right at the start of winter, yeah, it was literally the start of winter when they did that.
Yeah. So, I suppose we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, we don't necessarily need their business anyways. We basically do the same. I mean, at least we handle gems. I guess we don't really do anything gun related too much. What else do they get into? I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Besides opium.
Well, other than opium, yeah. Which obviously we'll never touch.
I wouldn't say never, but at least right now, as long as the ban is in place.
I just think that, it's a very cheap drug. So why get into it?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
kind of like cocaine.
$30 a hit or something like that, I think. So it's not like you're making a lot of money making it.
Yeah.
And you put in so much work to make it. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not worth wasting the storage on something like that.
That too.
I thought I was gonna go to the city, but it's getting really late. So instead, I'm gonna go smoke on top of this cliff, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Alright.
Sleep well.
Thank you. Guys, I did not realize how late it was. Oh! Ah, fuck. Yeah, fine. I was gonna go to the city, but, oh my god, what the fuck was that? I was gonna go to the city, but it, appears we're not gonna be able to do that, so... we will do it here instead. Alright guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Really good scenes in stream. Hopefully we figure this out with Daza, and then we're on to figuring out the stuff with Taipan. So, yeah. Out of here. I'll see you guys not tomorrow, but Wednesday. Bye guys. Have a good night.